We're still in SunoStaff workflow. We have already talked about claims management with a third-party payment system or refunding. Now we will talk about members management. We will manage members, but before managing members, we will talk about contract, payment policy. So on this screen, we have here the button payment policy. We will see the contracted service. For each society, each subscriber, we create it in the system with all the benefits attached to that various contract. For example, if you see the contract test, let me take the Suno Santé contract for example. You have the details for contracted service, the name, the start date, the end date, you see. So for example, if it is a contract that is only for refunding, you can set by default billing policy to direct billable to patients. Okay, if it is a it's a refunding only payment system. So here we can upload some data. If you have a scanned version or a PDF version of the table of benefits or general condition or any useful document, you can upload it to attach it to the contract. You can add services. Okay, you can add services by entering the category, the service name, the pricing methodology. We will discuss about the pricing methodology just after this. You will see there are various pricing methodology, annual limit, per day limit, rate and annual limit that are about formulas. We will see it just after this. So for this contract we have, you can see here all the services, the contracted services. So immunohistochemie, examen laboratoire, that is labs, okay, with the methodology, pricing methodology in the settings. So all the table of benefits of this contract are set in the software, okay, and with the pricing methodology. That is this various item that will give the system the ability to make operation to calculate the copay of the patient. Okay, we can add exclusions. Okay, for this contract, for example, we have some services that are excluded, and we have chosen for them the exclusion methodology pricing. Prior auth requirements. If there are some acts, some services that need a prior authorization, you settle them in the software too, and you finally finalize the settings, and you click on save. So let us come back on contracted service. If there are many, generally the contract or the contract are a bit similar. It's sometimes the rate that differs from a contract to another. So you can set in the contract in the software some type contract, okay? Some model. Let me say some model. For example, here we have settle type contract. A contract type of 80% reimbursement rate, 100%, 75, 70, just to allow us to go quickly if you want to settle a new contract. For example, if you are about to enroll a society called Mambo. So Mambo has a contract type of 80% reimbursement rate. You just click on this button, okay? This button to copy this contract. You can copy. If I click on this, you see, he has written copy off. You can change the name. You can write it Mambo here. The start date, for example, let us say that it has started on the 1st of October and it will end on the 1st of October of the coming year. No, the 31st of October. And maybe it's by default billing patient, by default billing policy to direct billable to patient, for example, maybe, or not. We will add some services. So here, if there are some services that you want to change, you cannot change the the service itself. You are obliged to delete it. Okay, to delete, I will delete this one, for example, and create the correct one. Okay, create the correct one if the rest is okay. So you have a new contract settle called Mambo. As it is the live version, I will not save the changing, just to show you. So create type of contract, models of contract that you may copy and modify to set other subscriber contract in the software. Let us come back on the pricing methodology. Pricing methodology, it's about formula. It's about calculation formula. For example, I take per rate and annual limit. So here we have two things. We have a rate, okay? So you have the name of the methodology, okay? You have the policy settings. You can add some things, okay? By typing label, key, and default value, and click on plus, the pink plus to add it. So for example, for this one, we have two policy settings. The percentage that is 80%, okay? And the annual limit that is 300,000. So if there is an act for which the reimbursement rate is 80% with an annual limit of 300,000, when setting it in the contract, you will just choose for the methodology, for the pricing methodology, you will choose rate and annual limit. Okay, as there are those two policy settings that are attached to that methodology. So you have policy input. So from here, it's only about calculation. So you will see. So the last thing, it's about the formula. Okay, so it's a long formula. So where you have the various detail that will permit the software to make the calculation when creating the claims. Okay, next. And whether is it global or regional. Regional means that it's attached to a country. Okay, if it is global, you are attaching it to, you can attach it to all the countries we are managing. And not forget to click on active to activate that pricing methodology. So that was about pricing methodology. Let us go back on managing members. We have created the contract. We will now manage the members. So by clicking on members, you have the whole list of all the enrollees of the software. Okay, you have a whole list that you can still filter by members, by employer, or by pricing methodology. For example, by employer, let me see. For example, if I take Sunu Sante, so for Sunu Sante, here we have the account status and all this. Okay, so let us say, for example, we want to add a member. Okay, click on Add Member. Enter all the details. The mandatory field are annexed with a red cross. Okay, add all the details, the insurance details. And for there is one thing I would like to say about the Sunu member ID. The Sunu member ID is created by you, by the company, by Sunu staff. Okay, here we create the Sunu member ID according to a code, a type of code we have decided to use. It is the first two letters of the country, or the country ID. If it is Togo, for example, it will be TG, and the if it's a patient, so we had PT. The first letters of the company, okay, of the subscriber. Let us say, for example, ULK. The number maybe 00123. So he's the 123rd member of that society, ended with SS. So that is the Sunu member ID that we create. But the member ID that you have here is generated by the the software itself. So default billing policy. So here also we can change whether it's directly by default directly billable to the patient or not. The account status, and you save. But this process is a bit long. So there is another way to enter members in the software, and we will see it. So we will upload data. To upload data, we will upload member list. So we click on this and we choose the file. And the file, it's a spreadsheet. In fact, it's a CSV file, a CSV file that will be uploaded in the software and attached to a contract. I will send after a model of the file, the CSV file, to see all the mandatory fields that are supposed to be filled before uploading a file in the software. And for each member you enroll in the software, you have to attach him to his contract. For example, let me go back on the screen of managing members, and suppose that I went through this way. After typing all the details concerning that patient, in the insurance details, you will choose the employer name. Okay, the employer name, the account status. Uh, Simply, I will take one member that already exists. Okay. Okay, let me take our patient member test. So you have the various information that concern him. Okay. Mail, user ID. This user ID has been created automatically by the system. Okay. The insurance details. So this also has been created automatically by the system. Here is what we have created ourselves in our database, and type in the software. So this way of creating ID will be put in a file for you to have a better look on this. So direct default billing policy, account status, year to date, next premium date, current, etc., etc. So you have also not forget to activate that account. If not, it will be inactive and the person will not be able to consume things. So if he has dependent, you'll have it here in this list. This one does not have dependent. If you want to add a dependent, you just click on add dependent and a page will come with all the previous details, all the previous field, and you add the dependent of this one. Okay, and click save. Member activity, so that is for statistic. So he went to Sunusante Clinic on that day. It was today, so today he went to Sunusante Clinic. The last month he went to Sunusante Pharmacy, and so this, all that. Okay. So this was about creating members. I will pick up a file just to show you quickly the mandatory field for demographic data, for the information to upload in the software when it is about creating members. So here you have the file, you have the information. So last name, first name, birthday, phone number, email ID. The photo is not important. The photo and the fingerprint is not mandatory. Okay. Employer name, address one, city, gender, country name, is child, is spouse, so it's about true or false. Marital status, if it is the primary subscriber, so you put the primary subscriber ID. So this is all the information in the on the spreadsheet to be uploaded in the software. So they are hidden column. I will show them all to you. Let me delete this one. So that's the way things appear. So the member ID, I told you that it was created by us. So for this one, maybe if his company is Mambo, it will be so TG for Togo, PT for patient, MAM, the three letters of the society, 0001 SS. So that's the member ID of this one. For the second one, it will be 2. The third one, 3. So last name, first name, birthday, phone number, email ID. Fingerprint is not mandatory. The employer ID will be related to what we have created sorry, in the software. So for him it will be TG, CL for client, and the number. Okay, maybe it says 68. The employer name, I say it was Mambo. So here it's still the same. Member since put the date, can put to 9. So address, city, zip code, gender, account status, true, true, true everywhere. Just to activate it, the country ID, the country name, the policy number, is child. For the first one was the is the primary subscriber, so he is not the child, he is not the spouse. The second one is the child, but it's not the spouse. The last one is not the child, but is the spouse. The limit, the premium status ID, the last premium date. So you can it depends on the the contract. So next premium date. It depends. Not a mandatory field. Year to date utilization not necessary. So marital status, if he's married or not. Professional status values not mandatory. Is primary subscriber, so it was only the first one that is a primary subscriber. So yes, no, no for the other. Or we may say true, false, false. Primary subscriber ID. The first one is a primary subscriber, so it will not be his ID. This the other one are not the primary subscriber, so it is their ID that will be put, the ID of the primary subscriber that will be put there. And after we have all this, we save the file as a CSV. We save it as a CSV file. Okay. And after saving it as a CSV, it will be that file that will be uploaded in the software here in upload data. So this is all about managing